Do you ever feel like English just goes too fast? Like the moment someone opens their mouth, it's all a blur? You've studied for years, memorized words, passed exams, but real conversations still feel impossible? You're not alone. And guess what? It's not your fault. Hi, and welcome to the Achieve English podcast channel. This is episode 11, and today we're diving into one of the biggest challenges for English learners, understanding fast native speakers. If you've ever wanted to watch a movie without subtitles, or talk with foreigners without saying, "Can you repeat that every 10 seconds?" This episode is for you. Now, here's the truth. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country. You don't need expensive courses or 5 hours a day. What you need is the right method. And today, I'll show you how to train your ears and your brain to understand real English in just 1 month. Yup, 1 month. It's possible, and it starts with a few simple changes. So grab your coffee, plug in your earphones, let's get started. The first thing I want you to understand is this. Listening is not passive. It's not just sitting there, letting words enter your ears. It's active. You have to do something with those sounds. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't get stronger by watching other people lift weights, right? You get stronger by practicing, repeating, breaking your limits little by little. Same with listening. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A student of mine, let's call her Mai, studied English for 7 years. She knew grammar, vocabulary, everything. But when she traveled to Singapore for work, she couldn't understand anything. She panicked. She called me and said, "I don't get it. I studied so much. Why can't I understand them?" And I told her, because you studied English like a school subject, not like a real language. You see, most people learn English from books. Textbooks are clean, slow, clear. Real life is messy. People speak fast. They cut words. They use slang. Want an example? Instead of saying, "What are you going to do?" a native speaker might say, "What you gonna do?" It's the same sentence, but sounds completely different. So the first step is train your ears to hear real English. Start with short, simple content, YouTube videos, TV shows, podcasts like this one. Don't use subtitles first. Just listen, not to understand every word, but to get the rhythm, the music of English, the pauses, the tone, the emotion. Then listen again with subtitles. Pause when you don't understand something. Repeat it out loud. Try to copy the pronunciation, the speed, the intonation. This is what we call shadowing. It's like singing along to your favorite song, but instead of lyrics, you're copying real speech. Do this 10 minutes a day, every day. You'll be shocked by how fast your ears improve. Mai did this for 30 days, just 10 minutes every night. And when she went back to Singapore a month later, she understood 70% of what people said. No panic, no fear. So what exactly should you listen to? Start with what you like. Comedy, cooking, travel, daily vlogs. As long as it's real speech, not just textbook stuff, it works. And here's another tip. Don't worry about understanding everything. You won't, not at first. Focus on the feeling. Did they sound angry, excited, sad? Did you catch a few key words? Good, that's enough to build on. You see, native speakers don't hear every word either. They listen for patterns, for context. You can do that too, but it takes practice. Now, let's talk about mindset. A lot of people say, "I'm bad at listening," but what they really mean is, "I haven't trained my ears yet." Big difference. Think back to when you were a baby. How did you learn your first language? Did your parents give you a grammar book? Of course not. You listened. Every day, for hours. You didn't understand it first, but your brain was learning patterns. The same thing works for English. You just need to go back to that natural way of learning. Start your day with 5 minutes of listening while brushing your teeth, on the bus, during lunch. Make it a habit. Remember, it's not about time, it's about consistency. 5 minutes a day is better than 2 hours once a week. Okay, so let's sum up what we've covered so far. 1. Listening is active. You need to engage with the sounds. 2. Use real English, not just slow, clean textbook audio. 3. Practice shadowing. Repeat what you hear out loud. 4. Don't worry about understanding everything. Get the general meaning. 5. Be consistent. Small daily habits create big results. Take a deep breath. You're doing great. Listening is hard at first, but it gets easier and more fun. Because one day you'll watch a movie and realize, hey, I understood that joke. Or you'll talk with a tourist and think, wow, I didn't need to translate in my head. That's real progress. That's the moment you know you're not just learning English, you're living it. Let's go deeper. Here's another powerful method, chunk training. Instead of learning individual words, you learn phrases, chunks. Why? Because native speakers don't speak word by word. They speak in groups. Think about it. We don't say, I am going to the store. We say, I'm gonna go to the store. Fast, smooth. It's like music. So, how do you learn chunks? Simple. Take a short clip, maybe 10 seconds. Listen, then repeat what you hear. Not word by word, but phrase by phrase. Example, native speaker says, I've been thinking about it and I'm not sure. You repeat, I've been thinking about it. Then, and I'm not sure. Break it down, then put it back together. Say it again, faster, more natural. Do this a few times, then record yourself. Listen back. Compare your voice to the original. Where's the difference? Fix it. Repeat. It's slow at first, but after a week, you'll notice something amazing. Your mouth gets faster, your brain gets faster. You start to feel the language, not just think about it. That's fluency. That's real progress. One more thing that helps, mimicking accents. Now, no, you don't need to sound British or American, but trying to copy their rhythm and tone helps your ears adjust. It's like tuning your brain to a new radio station. And the cool part, you'll start understanding other accents too. Indian, Australian, Canadian. Why? Because your brain becomes flexible, adaptive. Oh, and here's a secret. You don't need to understand 100% to communicate. Even native speakers don't. If you understand 60, 70% and can guess the rest from context, that's enough. That's real-world English. So don't get stuck trying to translate every word. Let your brain feel the meaning. Train it, like a muscle, like a habit. Now, let's talk about something most learners ignore, your body. Yes, your body affects your listening. When you listen while relaxed, lying down, walking in nature, sitting comfortably, you learn better. Your brain is open, you enjoy it. But if you're stressed, rushing, trying to understand everything, your brain shuts down. So make listening fun. Combine it with activities you enjoy. Stretch while listening. Take a slow walk. Sip tea. Smile. Your body tells your brain, this is safe, this is enjoyable, and your brain remembers more.
It's true. Emotion affects memory. When you connect English with good feelings, you learn faster. So don't treat it like homework. Treat it like a hobby. Try this. Make a listening playlist. Your favorite English content, songs, interviews, stories, comedians. Then every day, choose one and press play. Even if you're tired, even if you're busy, just press play. Let English become part of your daily life. It's not about perfection, it's about connection. And little by little, you'll start understanding more, feeling more confident. That's how fluency begins. Now, let's talk about how you can combine listening practice with speaking, because listening without speaking is like eating without swallowing. It's not enough to really improve. Have you ever tried talking to yourself? It sounds a bit strange, but it's super effective. When you hear a sentence, immediately try to repeat it or respond, as if you're having a real conversation with a native speaker. This helps your brain connect the sounds with meaning faster. For example, when you hear, "How was your day?" don't just listen and understand quietly. Try to answer right away. "It was great, thanks. How about you?" Or, "Pretty busy, but good." You can say it out loud or silently in your head. The important thing is to activate your speaking reflex. This method helps you get used to natural speaking speed and how words are used in real conversation. At first, it might feel hard because you're not used to it, but with practice, you will notice big improvements. Also, you should learn to guess meaning while listening. Native speakers don't always say every word clearly. They rely a lot on context and body language. So when you don't catch a word, don't give up. Use what you understand to guess the rest. For example, if you hear "I'm gonna," but don't hear the next word clearly, you might guess the speaker will say go, eat, or call based on the situation. Guessing meaning keeps your brain active and prevents you from freezing while listening. Another very important habit is don't translate every sentence into your native language. Translating word by word slows down your listening and speaking reflex. Instead, try to think in English. It's hard at first, but you can start with simple sentences. Try the 5 sentences a day method. Every day, pick 5 simple English sentences you hear in conversations or videos. Remember them and practice saying them many times, trying to understand the meaning without translating. And don't forget, learning English should be fun, not stressful. If you feel bored or tired, take a break or switch to listening to topics you enjoy. Learning a language is not a sprint, it's a steady walk every day. Finally, reward yourself when you reach small goals. For example, when you understand a whole conversation without subtitles, celebrate. That's a sign you're improving day by day. So, for the next month, apply these tips. Listen every day, practice shadowing, train your speaking reflex, guess meaning, and think in English. Combine this with a relaxed, positive attitude, and I'm sure you'll see big changes. Are you ready to try? Now, let's dive into some practical tips to make your English listening practice even more effective and fun. First, create a daily routine that fits your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be long. Just 10 to 15 minutes each day is enough if you stay consistent. You can listen during your commute, while cooking, or even during a short break. The key is to make English listening a regular habit, not a one-time effort. Second, use a variety of materials. Don't just stick to one podcast or one type of video. Mix it up. Listen to interviews, watch movie clips, follow cooking shows, or even listen to songs. Different accents, different speeds, different vocabulary will help your brain adapt to real English. Third, keep a notebook or a digital note app nearby. Whenever you hear new words or phrases, write them down. But don't just write the word, write the whole phrase or sentence. This helps you remember how the words fit naturally together, like real native speakers use. Then, review your notes regularly. Try to use those phrases when you speak or write. This turns passive listening into active learning. Next, try to practice predictive listening. Before listening to a sentence or a conversation, look at the topic or title and try to guess what people might say. This trains your brain to expect and understand better, just like real-life conversations. Also, don't be afraid to rewind and listen again. If you miss something, go back and hear it again. It's not cheating, it's smart learning. Every time you listen, you'll understand a bit more. Remember, progress is slow but steady. Celebrate small wins, like understanding a new phrase or catching a joke without subtitles. These moments are proof you're improving. Finally, stay motivated. Join online English communities or language exchange groups. Talk with friends who are also learning. Share your progress and challenges. Encouragement from others keeps you going. Learning to listen like a native takes time, but with patience and the right approach, you'll get there faster than you think. Keep pushing forward and don't give up. All right, let's quickly review what we covered today. We talked about how listening to English is an active skill, not a passive one. You learned the importance of shadowing, practicing in chunks, and training your ears with real, everyday English. We discussed the power of combining listening with speaking, guessing meaning from context, and thinking directly in English. Most importantly, we emphasized building small, consistent habits and keeping your learning fun and relaxed. If you take just a few minutes every day to practice like this, I promise you will see big improvements in your listening and speaking skills, sometimes faster than you expect. So now it's time for you to take action.
Like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to Achieve English podcast channel for more easy, practical English lessons. Leave a comment below and tell me, what's your biggest challenge with English listening? And most importantly, practice what you've just learned. Try shadowing, listen to something you enjoy, and speak out loud every day. Remember, learning English is a journey. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Thanks so much for listening today. Keep going, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and happy learning.